roof, or I don't know if it was a beam. It's just coming out. That's over on my phone looking at it. The roof or the beam of an Enterprise rent-a-car, which is actually not too far from me, and I have my producer go check it out, has collapsed. Now, I don't know if that's the weight of the water, the wind, what have you. I have no idea. Steve's going to go over and check that out for you. Out here on Shoreline Boulevard, you can occasionally see some debris going on by. And the reason I've added the helmet to the arsenal is pretty simple, because when you have these palm trees and potential debris blowing around, you just want to protect your noggin. So why not? Again, guys, winds have gusted here at about 74, 75 miles an hour. The highest gust we've seen is Port Aransas. And the news we want to share with you now is we've just gotten word from the Weather Channel that the Torcon index is now up to an 8 for Southeast Texas. Up to an 8. So seeing things as these bands come ashore where we may get an additional jack up, if you will, in the tornado potential. That is something that we absolutely will watch for you. Again, guys, you can see some of the debris. It's all light debris. It's anything heavy here. Swirling around, occasional branches about this size right in here. This is about what we're seeing right now come in from the storm, and that will continue to be the case, especially with these kind of winds. This is strong tropical storm force to occasional minimal hurricane gusts is what we're dealing with it through here. So again, guys, as we talked about, we're probably going to see just the western edges of this. We're not going to take the eye wall, unfortunately, fortunately I should say, for Corpus Christi, but unfortunately, areas off to my north, like Port Lavaca, like Port O'Connor, certainly Victoria could certainly deal with a part of this eye wall as it comes in. Remember, we're starting at Category 4, so it may weaken a little bit, but we certainly are anticipating some structural damage with the kind of winds that we can see. All right, let's get some ideas of what is happening with this thing. Brian Norcross, are we seeing the western eye wall coming ashore yet?
Now the thing is kind of moving in a northwesterly direction, but the edge of the eye wall has reached the barrier island, Jim, just to the east of Port Aransas. I mean, everything's kind of an angle there in the coastal band of Texas, as you know. So here's Port Aransas. Look at it right there. There's the edge of the eye wall, right over the island there, San Jose Island. That's what that's called, is it not? I think San Jose Island. So you have an island here. That's San Jose Island. This is Mustang Island down here, and here's Matagorda Island up to the north. So it's come ashore, the edge of the eye wall. That's not landfall now from the hurricane. It's when the center of the hurricane makes it to the coastline. That's when we have technical landfall. When we look at the 3D version, Jim, you're in kind of a moat right now between the band that you were in before and this next very strong band that's between Port Aransas and the coastline and Victoria, and we can see the eye wall there. This very enhanced eye wall is right on the coastline. And Jim, when we look at the satellite, we can see that the storm has, if anything, edged a little bit farther north. So I'm really concerned about where Mike Seidel is, and that he has a safe place to go, because the northeast quadrant of this hurricane looks like it's going directly over Port Lavaca. The way this is going, because it's bending a little bit right, and this, if it continues this trend, Victoria, anybody that's watching from Victoria needs to really think about where they are going to ride out this hurricane. They need to get to the interior part of their home and think tornado here. Think safest place in your home in Victoria, Texas, because this Idel is heading right in that direction. Along with Port Lavaca, as I said, and Mike Seidel is there. Mike.
Hey, Brian, we're here in Port Lavaca. You mentioned us trying to figure out where the eye wall is going to go. We're going to get clipped maybe on the northeast side. That wouldn't surprise me. That's where you have the strongest winds and the heaviest rainfall. And I just noted that Victoria, which is about 30 miles north of here inland in Victoria County, where they also have a mandatory evacuation, I believe the only inland county that went with a mandatory, they just gusted to 49 miles an hour. So it goes to show you what kind of night is ahead for Victoria, a city that is much larger than here in Port Lavaca. Now look at the water rise here on the wall. And we've seen changes just in the past half an hour, picking up these bricks that were surrounding this landscaping around the palm tree. And this water comes up and it goes into that drainage. Now that drainage is for rainfall, and then it just goes, it tries to go back out into the Lavaca Bay. So a nasty, angry Lavaca Bay. Again, reminding you, we're about 25 or so miles as the crow flies from the open waters of the Gulf of Mexico. No doubt the wave action out there is much higher because we're only getting a wind fetch across here. Now look how dark it is in the distance. Now we are losing light out here, but it is getting darker. We've got another band coming our way, but the real intense bands are still on the horizon. We've still got a little bit of time before we get really hammered like they're getting down on the coast of Aransas County, Port Aransas, up to Rockport, Aransas, past those areas. I was there in June for my niece's wedding. It's so beautiful, that beach. You can drive out to it, and you can play ball on the beach. You can cook out. A lot of beaches these days, you really can't do much except sit there and watch the water. There's so many rules, but Aransas Beach, Aransas Pass Beach is just so nice. It'll be interesting to see how all those condos, all the condominiums that have been built up in recent years, a lot of that construction is new there, how that fares, and I guess we'll find out in the days to come. But it won't be one of these deals where the hurricane comes in and comes out, Brian, and we can get back in there tomorrow with the sun coming out, because often the day after the sun comes out, and we can really take a look at what impacts we have. Boy, isn't it getting dark out here right now? We've got this next squall I can see on the Texas 35 bridge. So Brian, we'll throw it back to you. You can update us on the radar and show what is rolling our way around the northeast side, the north side of Hurricane Harvey.
Yes, Mike, that you see is not the eye wall. It is the band outside the eye wall, though. And it's the band that here we're looking at the radar. Let me show you where Mike is. Mike's right up here in Port Lavaca. It's this band that he's seeing here. So the eye wall is down here where the strongest winds are. So first thing that's going to happen in the next probably half hour or something like that, that as the hurricane goes to the northwest or the north-northwest, that these bands are going to move in the same direction. So it's not that far away. Maybe about as far as you are from Port O'Connor, Mike, is how far that band is from you that's coming in. And obviously it's got stronger winds than you have now, and then you have the eye wall to come where the maximum winds are in this northern part of the eye wall based on what we can see here. The other thing that is very, very important, and it's really critical that Mike is on high ground there, because with the circulation coming like this, that's pushing that Gulf water. And look what it's doing here. It's pushing the Gulf water into Matagorda Bay here.